Hey, what's up, everybody? Just a quick video today. I wanted to call your attention to something that appears to be kind of slept on right now, at least the potential to farm it or anything like that. As you know, since you clicked on the video, it is the Eternal Struggle Onyx Amulet. And I think the number one reason why it's probably being overshadowed right now is it is in that chase amulet slot where everybody's looking at Ashes or Omni, and they want to buy those 30 to 50 Exalt amulets, whatever the price is at the time of you watching this video. And the reason why I'm saying this is overshadowed and kind of being slept on right now is I was sleeping on it. I didn't really look at it too closely. My end game plan for my Forbidden Rite Occultist right now would be to go for an Ashes of the Stars. But yesterday on stream, we killed a Black Star and this dropped. And so my initial instinct, right, I click on it. I'm like, oh, it's a, maybe 5 chaos little amulet here, whatever. But then I looked a little bit closer. 45% increased damage for my build, and it has a lot of stats. And I was in the middle of trying to balance the stats for my build, and my old amulet actually was entirely stat-based. I actually didn't know if I was going to be able to replace my old amulet because I was relying so heavily on the stats here. And I saw just how much stats is given with this amulet. And I was like, oh, maybe I can sneak it in. And then I kept reading. Increased global defenses. Well, that's like a thing that I care about for my build. I am entirely scaling energy shield and armor for both offense and defense for my build. And I was like, okay, 15% increased armor and energy shield. Perfect for my build. And then keep reading. Okay, Malignant Madness, 10% reduced damage and action speed. That's actually really good for those Uber bosses. And then I kept reading 15% cull if the Searing Exarch is dominant. And I was like, oh, which one is dominant on my amulet? And Searing Exarch is actually dominant on this amulet, which gives me 45% increased damage, a 15% cull that's almost as good as Slayer's 20%, tons and tons of stats, 15% global defenses for both my energy shield and evasion. And there's a lot of builds that are looking at especially a lot of energy shield and armor right now. And particularly with the Forbidden Rite Occultist and any CI build, this is really, really good since armor, goes hand in hand with Divine Shield and all that. This amulet drops from both the Infinite Hunger and Black Star. You can actually just choose which one you want to be dominant. If you get it from Black Star, the Searing Exarch will be dominant. And if you get it from the Infinite Hunger, the Eater of Worlds will be dominant. Makes sense. Those are the mini bosses, for those bosses. I feel like in general, you're probably going to want the cull. 15% cull is incredibly strong. However, Malignant Madness is very strong, especially if you're in hardcore or, you're just really, really death averse. Malignant Madness, just slowing them every monster down by 10% and reducing their damage is really, really good. However, you do have to be critical strike based to inflict that. So, your mileage may vary if it works for your build. Generally, 15% cull is, that is just so strong. I think I'm really personally would only be looking at the Black Star version. And the good news there is the Polaric Invitation currently is only 12 chaos. So this can be something where if you really want to just like hard fish for it, and if you're a high damage build, killing the Black Star can just take like a minute or so or less. So it's not a very hard boss fight whatsoever. The chance for getting some sort of GG amulet is, there's good potential there. And yeah, so the implicits here are obviously totally random. If we go through the trade website, I've just been scrolling down and looking for, certain standout ones that are pretty awesome. And yeah, there's some pretty good ones. I think I saw a +1 to all max res down here as well. 10% spell suppression, 10% chaos dot. Really, really, really good. Lots of damage pen here. Yeah, here we go. Life regen rate, all the max res. And look at these. These are only a few chaos right now. So powerful. Yeah, look at this one. 10 spell suppression and 1 max all res for 10 chaos listed 4 days ago. There's a lot out here that is so powerful. So obviously this is a contentious slot. The amulet is the chase slot for a lot of builds. So this might not fit into your build, especially like my Forbidden Rite Occultist here. Especially I'm doing the Aegis Aurora with the Melding of the Flesh. I do have that all set up now, 85 all res. I want to go for a little bit more later on. For a build that really struggles to get a lot of stats, that really cares about global defense, and 15% cull is incredibly strong. I bet you there's a handful of builds out there that are being played by a lot of people that could be looking at this amulet. There could be something out there that's really, really strong. I totally recognize that enough people see this video, they're gonna start be looking for this amulet. The price might go up on a lot of this type of stuff. I recognize that's what happens. But this is something that I see so many of these amulets right now for 5 to 10 chaos that look really, really juicy. This is something, if this fits in your build, you may want to consider it. And especially if you need an amulet slot with a ton of stats. The funny thing is, right, this is like perfect Omni amulet, but you can't use Omni because it's the same slot, which is kind of funny, but I think that's good design. So yeah, something you might just want to put on your radar. You might want to just like troll through the trade site, see if there's something you can buy for 5 chaos, dramatically upgrades your build. And I think this is a really cool amulet that, I wish I looked a little bit closer on earlier. Quick little video here. Wanted to call your attention to something that looks underappreciated. I'm going to go get ready for the stream, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.